Supreme Court is also planning on taking aim at transgender rights. They made this announcement this week on Monday that they're picking up this challenge to Tennessee's ban on gender-affirming care. In Tennessee, it is illegal for minors to get puberty blockers or surgery or anything that might involve changing their gender. And this is on the one hand kind of a tough one because we're talking about minors. On the other hand, parents should have some say in this, and you know, these minors who are getting these kinds of treatments are doing so with the support of their parents. These are young people who grew up knowing that they were in the wrong body, and they want to get that fixed. You know, I've mentioned I have this situation in my own family. I mean, you know, many of us probably know people like this in this situation who then, you know, actually went through surgery or went through other changes to change their gender, and are very happy with it. Now, there is the whole rationale that the Tennessee ban is based on is that there is a small number of people who regret having made that transition. But it's a very small number. I mean, it's like single-digit %, and it's quite rare, actually. Although those few cases are the ones that always get, you know, held up and promoted. 3 transgender Tennessee minors, their parents, and a physician are suing the state of Tennessee, saying that your law that prevents us from undergoing this transition is unconstitutional, or it's wrong. And my guess is that, and they're suing based on the Equal Protection Clause of the 14th Amendment, that trans people should have, or people who want to transition, should have the same rights as everybody else in America. The Due Process Clause of the 14th Amendment, that we should have access to, and the 5th Amendment, that we should have access to due process in the United States, and parental rights. That, you know, when parents say, yes, my child wants to transition and I support that, that should be the end of the case. Last year, a federal district court ruled in favor of the minors and their parents, and then an appeals court overturned it. On the Sixth Circuit Court of Appeals overturned that decision and said, no, the parents and the kids can't undergo transition, and thus it ended up before the Supreme Court. I am not optimistic about how this is going to play out with the Supreme Court. And I think it's important to remember that the first group that the Nazis went after in 1933, the first group that the Nazis went after, weeks after Hitler became chancellor, was the trans community. They were the first. And that famous book burning, that was outside the institute in Berlin that was doing sex change operations. First in the world to do it. And they took all those books on sex and sexuality and surgery and everything. They took those books out and they burned them. That was that famous picture of the book burning, the Nazi book burning. And this, like I said, this is just weeks after Hitler was made chancellor. If I was the right, this would not be the hill that I would choose to die on, but they've chosen it because they think that trans people are such a small minority in the United States that nobody's going to stand up to defend them. They're wrong. There are a lot of us who are going to stand up and defend them. And proudly count me in that list.